Morning all, 24th of July, another day in my daily diary of looking after my wife with Parkinson's and dementia. A bit later today because it's Thursday and I now get Angie into the daycare centre on Thursdays. So that's twice a week now, Mondays and Thursdays. Which will be a big help actually. I mean, it's a nice relief today. I got her up this morning though, but she's just tired. I mean, properly tired. Her eyes are shut, but they're shut because she's tired. She couldn't eat a toast proper. She couldn't drink a brew. I had to got the straw. She couldn't open her mouth proper. I'm trying to push the straw in her mouth while she has a drink of a tea. A little bit of toast, but that was all she had. But I mean, she was asleep. I was picking her up, putting her in the chair. Got her over to the day centre. We could all see there, so they just said, "We'll put her in a chair." And just let her have a sleep. I don't know why, because she's not been up all night. She's not had a bad. Well, we both had a pretty good night's sleep. Got her in bed, usual time-ish, about 11, something like that. But in no time she'd gone. I was in bed sort of 11:45ish. Well, before 12 anyway. And again, no issues, not gotten up during the walk a couple of times because she'd uncovered herself, so I just covered herself up. I covered her up, but no sort of great issues. So she seemed to have slept, so well. So I don't know why she's overly tired this morning. Don't know. Might just be all what's going on. Yesterday, I had her up 10:15, I think. To get her washed and breakfast before the cleaner turned up. But again, while cleaner was here, she weren't quite right. She did the eyes closed thing, what she normally does, and she was doing a bit of, muttering a bit of nonsense, really. Whatever, weren't making sense what she was saying to me. And when the outreach worker come in the afternoon, I went shopping. I got back and Debbie said, yeah, she spent most of the time with her eyes closed, so they didn't get any word search done. Just had the TV on, so. Yeah, tea. I give her a tea. Again, I had to feed her most of it, and she left another third of it again. And we went looking at the bungalow. Yeah, 6:30. So that was a bit hard work because she wasn't quite with it. She had her eyes open at some point and got her in and out, but I couldn't get her right through to the kitchen because of where they had the fridge situated. So I tried standing her up just to show her in the kitchen. But overall, it's a lovely bungalow. I just need to get my head around whether I'm a making do now with a 2-bedroom because it's nice, it doesn't need now doing to it, or do I need to hang on for a 3-bedroom? Because like the kitchen, I'd have to refigure a little bit in the kitchen just so I can get Angie in and out and through to the back door. That's where the back door is, you see, through the kitchen. But overall, really pleased with it, really pleased. Yeah, so. But I couldn't get a chance to think about it last night because I was still doing it. Was 9:30 again by the time I'd sat down, and by that time Angie was doing the restless legs going and umming and grunting and hair twizzling thing, So she got overheated a bit last night, but not as bad as she has been. I put that ice pad on her back, and that seemed to cool her down a bit. So then I dropped her off at the day centre this morning. They're really nice at that day centre. I've got a big shout out to them all at Warren Manor. They really are. Hi Angie, good morning Angie, and even to me, is she all right? All of them, they're really good, really good bunch, really. I've never dealt with care homes before and day centres before, but I wouldn't wish for anything else. It's really good. It's really good. So then I just come home. My intention was to start going to the gym on a Thursday like I do on a Monday, but I couldn't be bothered this morning. I just come home, so I had a right long soak in a nice hot bath, an hour and 20 minutes. But that's what I used to do. That was my chill out time. I'd do that to at least twice a week, sometimes 3 nights a week. Go up there, take a coffee with me and put my music on, shut the doors and just chill. So that's what I've done this morning. I took a coffee with me, got in this nice hot bath, could hardly get in, it was that hot. Sitting down like that, and then put my music on an hour and 20 minutes, so I've not been out long, and I'm just going to make another brew now and get some ironing done, you know, so yeah, so I'll just see what today brings with her, you know. But so I'm laying in the bath, and it's like you start, you know, you're just pondering and start thinking back of all sorts, and, you know, what ifs and whys, you know, even back to like when we first met. You know, you think, was it by chance, or was it, you know, was it something meant to be? Because the very first day I met her I was a bouncer at the time, and this particular, it was a Saturday. Oh no, it was Saturday, and I was going out. I was meeting another girl, because I was only young, free and single then. I was meeting this other girl that night, so I went to buy myself a new shirt, and it was easier for me to nip into the Bolton Town Centre at the time, even though I didn't live around there. I didn't live that far away, still on the Salford side. But so on my way back, I got this new shirt. On my way back, I passed this cabaret club. It was called Blighty's at the time. It's no longer there now. Used to have all the big acts on, and, you know, proper cabaret store with a sit-down meal and watch the show. And there was like a disco rooms upstairs. So I just pulled in. Do you need any doormen, any bouncers? And he said, I do actually. Can you start tonight? So yeah, okay. So I shot off home. Rang, you know, I didn't ring on my mobile. You know, mobiles them days, remember? So I rung her from a landline. The other girl said, "Not me, I'm working." And that was it. Then I met Angie that night. So one of the other doormen wanted to take one of Angie's mates out. So there was a deal done. And 4 of us, 4 doormen, and Angie and her 3 mates. I went out afterwards. We finished work. Everywhere shut at 2 o'clock in them days. The club's shut at 2. So by the time you kicked everybody out, it's like 3 o'clock by the time we were leaving. There were nowhere to go on to back in the day. You know, that was it. Everywhere shut. So our first date out, apart from me seeing her in and out the club, was on the service stations on the the M62. So I went for a coffee, pulled in at service stations. That was our first date there. So yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it? But then that was it. It went from there. So if I hadn't just pulled in that day, you know, do you want any doorman? Or he might have said, no, not in a minute. Anything could have happened. But and he just said, yeah, can you start tonight? You know, so, and that was it. So he meant, I suppose it was meant to be, really. You know, I won't say it was, I'm laughing to myself in Bath there. I won't say it was love at first sight, but she had a peach of a bum. It was like 2 boiled eggs wrapped in an hanky. Right, that's enough that I said on that one. So yeah, and then it just went on from there. I used to, as they got a bit serious, you know, I'd be working there over the weekend, Fridays, Saturdays, and sometimes Sundays, and if Angie were in with her mates, which usually was on at least a Saturday night, and I'd see anybody sort of chatting her up and trying to buy her a drink or out like that, I'd chuck them out. She said I'd see him with her arm at the back being chucked out of the club. You know, and it worked for months and months after. She didn't realise what I were doing. Yeah, the memories, aren't they? It's just, you know, I could go on and on and on, all sorts over the years, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm having a nice relaxing day today. I've got some washing out. I'm gonna do some ironing. Finish the ironing that I started the other day. It's only my stuff now, some more shirts and some shorts, and then I get that done, and I'm just gonna get out and go for a coffee before I go picking her up about 3:15ish, something like that. So yeah, and I'll give this bungalow some thought. Like I said to Angie, what do you like it, Angie? And she just gives me like the thumbs up. You know, so I've got to make the decision really for us both. You know, there were no ramp to the front door, which isn't a great issue, but there's room to put a ramp in. But so the only back door, the only other way would be the back door, which is right round the back, which then you have to come through the kitchen i.e. I'd have to just refigure something in the kitchen. You know, where would the fridge go, and just move a bit of a unit where the door open and maybe take the door off. But apart from that, he did nothing, no other alterations. A big garage to one side, which would be my man shed, because I like me shed with all my tools and my work table and all my tools on the wall and organised. That's where my OCD comes in. So yeah, I'm having a good day internally today. Just hope Angie's all right and she's woke up and she's getting a bit involved rather than just sat in a chair asleep. You know, that's not what I'm dumping her. I feel like I'm dumping her if that's the case. You know, I want her to go for me as well, to give me time, but I also want her to go, and enjoy and conversate as best she can. And could they have like somebody coming singing or stuff like that, or so just to get involved a bit. So I don't want to feel as though I'm just going to dump her off and she's just going to sit in a chair, asleep. So yeah, so right, so that's me done. I've got myself a new tripod and all, with a little selfie stick thing, so that makes it a bit easier. I don't have to keep all the hands free. Yeah, get used to it, and I can press the button when it comes and goes. Dragging myself into the 21st century here. Right, okay, I'm going to get off positive today. Yeah, so again, please do the usuals. Press your like buttons, follow me please, share these videos, send me your comments, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and let's get these things out there, this info. Again, some of the workers at the centre this morning said they've been watching me, and they love me just honesty and the warts and all, so, but that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to put any false faces on, not full faces at all. I had one comment yesterday or the day before, just before I go. It's about the first and only negative comment I've had. He didn't think it was right. I'm saying he, I presumed it was an he, it might be a she. Laying it all out on the table like this. But I'm not, there's loads of stuff that I don't mention, just to save Angie's dignity. So what I'm saying is for me. He's not having a go at Angie. And this is what I told him, so don't bother me, it's like water off a duck's back. And in the old fashioned, what can I say without being nasty? I don't know if I blocked them, so I don't know if they're going to watch this or not, but if they are and they know who they are, a bit of sign language that you probably know. Okay, I'll do another one tomorrow. You take care now. Bye.